Okay, so my origin of being interested in art and animation was definitely my father. He's a fine artist, and he was an architect in Tokyo for a bit. And basically, knowing his story and loving art growing up and encouraging us as kids to just kind of like play with our hands and be creative. I always had an interest in kind of like giving back to that to him. So I wanted to work in management or work in a creative industry to kind of like be a part of giving back to artists. I was actually going to a college in Ohio, and I was getting like an art history major with a minor in arts management. And I realized when I was at that college that there were no artists. So my friend was at Ringling as a photography major, and she said, hey, why don't you come to an art school that still has a program where you can do the business side as well. My sophomore summer, I worked at a small boutique kind of motion graphics house called Five Stone Studios. And from there, I'd really wanted to go to Disney Animation. And I think even that summer, I potentially was going to be offered an internship role, but didn't get the position. But I had Disney in my heart. My senior year, I was called into an interview at Disney during winter break. So I flew out to California and did an interview at their studio in Burbank during December break. And actually out of the interview, they were like, hey, we're ready to give you like a full-time job. But I was like, oh, I'm actually still like in college, like I have another semester to go. So I told them, oh, like, let me like get my degree first, and then let's keep in touch. So by, I think it was April of 2014, they gave me the offer right before I graduated in May. So Disney Animation was my first full-time position as a production assistant. Yeah, so I do feel like for the most part, Ringling adequately equipped me for what's going on. But I would also say there was a big aspect of just building it out. The Business of Art and Design program is kind of set up that way, where you can explore which creative industry you want to work in, which I personally like. So when I had the opportunity to create my thesis project, I had to build it out. And that was basically just like doing internships and working with the faculty, and then figuring out like, what does it mean to like do a thesis like that? So I think a lot of Ringling was more like you had to have the ambition to figure out what it was that you wanted outside of college, because it was kind of open-ended for BOAD. Like it's not like, hey, I'm gonna be an animator within the CG department. Like it was like, hey, I could be literally any form of management within the creative industry. So I think it was honestly super nice to be able to like create a project, because that's what you're supposed to do anyways as a producer. I think I'll always be a producer in some way, but as I've been out in California, I've honestly gotten into considering farming, which is like a totally different direction. But I always had a heart for sustainability and the earth and the environment. So like I've honestly considered just like figuring that out. But like I said, like I think I'll always be a producer, and also the connections I've made at different companies, like I keep getting kind of requests to like work with people. So there's no reason why in this day and age you can't work remotely and still produce and work with people. So, you know, like it's kind of exciting that I can have opportunity to follow different passions as I progress in my life.